Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Darth Slone, your official partnered content creator for Expansive Worlds. And what we are doing today is we are going to go over the 4 methods of retrieval. We're going to go over twitching, stop and go, jigging, and constant. And we're going to see in which situations and which types of fish and things like that are we going to use those in. And we're just going to go out here and catch a few fish. We're going to start with pike. We're going to experiment with the swim bait, which its preferred method is the stop and go. Now, some people prefer constant. Some people twitch with it. I have better luck when I use stop and go. So we're going to use that method. And then constant, of course, is pretty self-explanatory. But we're going to go over all 4 today, guys. And before we do, please do me a favor. Hit that like, subscribe, notify bell, guys. I'm out here doing my best to bring you guys some informative videos for beginners to experienced players. You guys know someone that needs to learn how to do these types of techniques, these retrieval techniques, or any of my other guides, please share it with them. Tell them Darth Slone's trying his best over there. He's working hard for the community. I appreciate it, guys. Let's hop into it. All right, we're just going to cast out here. I've got a number 5 swim bait, so we should do pretty good as far as attracting fish. I'm going to low this down to a speed of 2. Now watch me reel. The best way to explain this is I'm reeling for a full bar and then half a bar. So watch this. When I get around to the end of stop and go, I let off. And so you're letting off for half of a bar. So you're reeling for a bar and a half and letting off for half a bar. I use the word "and" to let me know where to let off at, okay? So let's look at this again. I'm going to throw this out there. Now I'm going to start reeling, and it's going to say stop and go right there. I let off at the end. I reel for a whole bar, let off at the end. Reel for a whole bar, let off at the end. Reel for a whole, look at that, just like clockwork. Now we're going to throw some constant out there, and we're going to compare. You know, how does the constant do with the swim bait? My friends Fatness and Demonic love to just fish with constant, and maybe it's just luck of the draw, RNG, but there are times that I'll reel in with constant and not get a bite. Let's do constant this time. So all we're going to do is just reel in constant. We've casted in the same spot for the first 2 casts. Left it on speed of 2. Everything's the same. Let's reel in on constant. Let's see what happens. Constant is easy. As you see, we got a bite there. No big deal, right? But I'll take spells, and it could just be luck of the draw that I've caught a few fish and there needs to be some more time for fish to spawn in or something like that, and that's why, you know. But there is one caught off constant. Let's do another cast on constant and see what happens. We were 2 for 2 with the stop and go. Let's try constant and see how it does. Stop and go is probably the hardest, especially for a streamer, because you got to focus on keeping the words stop and go up for it to be successful. So it's hard to watch chat and focus on letting off at the right time. Remember, it's a bar and a half, let off, bar and a half, and use the word "and" to judge it by. Let off when it gets around to the end or close somewhere in the "and" word. Let off, let it go all the way to the end of the bar. Start reeling again as soon as it goes around to the beginning of the bar. Reel all the way through, all the way back through to "and" again. So a bar and a half, let off for half a bar. Bar and a half, let off for half a bar. So we didn't get a bite there on constant. Let's do stop and go again. The preferred method is stop and go. It makes me think that it will attract quicker with the preferred method. But maybe we're just in a code spot now and it's not gonna, we got a bite on the stop and go again. So we are 100% on the stop and go, but we reeled one all the way in on the constant. Didn't work out for us. RNG, maybe not, who knows. We're just going to use the buckwheat Tyro fluorocarbon 4.41 pounds size 8 jig head, and the number 8 tube. That's what we're going to use. And we're going to go jig in my favorite black crappie / green sunfish spot right there. I like to park right here in the middle because I feel like by casting all the way around, I can end up attracting any fish in this area, and it just lets me cover more water. So we are going to use, there's a couple of different ways you can jig actually. I'm going to use the drag it across the bottom method all the way to my boat. And then when I get to my boat, I'm going to use the method that a lot of people use too, where they, especially for lake trout, you just let it go off the side of the boat instead of doing a big long cast. Let it hit the bottom, reel it up a little bit, and just jig and leave it in one spot. Just up and down where it's going about 4 or 5 feet off the bottom and it's staying in one spot. Now, that's one way to do it. My preferred way is to drag it across the bottom, and then when I get right under my boat, then I'll use that method where it stays in one spot. But I feel like your attraction radius, if you're dragging it across the bottom on a long cast, you're attracting fish between point A and point B instead of just at point B. So I feel like you have a better chance of attracting fish if you jig while dragging it across the bottom, because it covers a bigger area, if that makes sense. But let's put it to the test and see what we can figure out here. I'm just going to cast out, full cast out in this direction. I'm letting it sink to the bottom. So there it is, sinking to the bottom. I'm going to put it on speed of 1. Now to jig on PC, you can see here, quick retrieve is E, space is jigging. That's what we're going to use. Control is twitching. Okay, that's what you can see there. So very easy. I'm just going to hold control, and you see what it does. It moves up and down. Now it says jigging over on the right. That's what we want to keep going. So all you have to do is just hold the space bar down, guys. I don't know what button it is over on Xbox or PlayStation, but look there. There's something I was hoping would happen too. You don't even have to reel. I never even started reeling, and we got a bite while jigging. The bait wasn't even moving. I used to think that the bait had to be moving. We had all of that slack in our line just then. We hadn't even started reeling. But here's why I don't like fishing this way. Now, we got lucky there because we casted close to a green sunfish. If you don't cast close to a fish, maybe there's not one way out there 88.9 feet away from me right now, but somewhere between there and my boat, there is a fish. So by moving my bait, I'm attracting the fish that are between there and here. It's a larger area. If there's not one there, I'm just going to sit here and jig all day and not catch anything. So let's start reeling in just a little bit at a time. Let it sink back to the bottom. See, I'm watching that. I let it sink back to the bottom, and then I just reel in just a little bit at a time like that. I like it just raising up and going off the bottom. And then I reel a little bit more. Now, some people will reel and then reel when the pole drops back down. So see right there, it dropped back down. So I reel a little bit, let off as it comes up. Reel, let off as it comes up. And that just lets it just move across the bottom. We're covering more area. And then if I don't get a bite, I'll just cast a little to the right or a little to the left. Or another thing you can do is when it gets to the boat here, but we usually get a bite before it even gets to the boat. When it gets to the boat, you can just leave it there and let it dangle about 5 feet off the bottom, just constantly going up and down. That's another way that you can do it. In some cases, you can go to bodies of water as you learn these lakes. You know what fish are there, and if there's 4 or 5 different fish there, you can find a common bait that they all like and use that and catch all kinds of different fish. Now let's look at twitching. Let's go with the number 5. I like using a 5 topwater popper. You can use a frog, but Popper requires twitching. You're not going to get a bite with a popper unless you're twitching, I don't think. I mean, maybe you will. I haven't. Maybe with enough cast you will. All right, we're going to throw it out there. We're going to put it on speed of 2. We're going to hold the control button down and twitch. Now, as far as goad sting, guys, he's not going to bite unless you twitch. When it says twitching like the popper does, you have to twitch. The fish won't bite. You know, they don't. The popper, unlike the other lures, doesn't have a constant or a stop and go or a second or third method to use it. It just has twitching. So I don't think that you're ever going to get a bite on a popper if you're reeling it in constant. I could be wrong. Someone could let me know. Now, this isn't my favorite bass spot. Let's go find us a better spot to twitch. Yes. Actually, I had one going for it right there. See him? See him swimming through there? Right there he is. He was actually getting ready. So we need to slow her down. Let's see if we can't attract him. I'm gonna knock it down to 1, see if he won't come over. See if we can't get him. He's somewhere in this. There he is. He's going for it now. See how big this dude is. It's a good looking silver, almost 4-pound largemouth bass right there. Or if you see them coming and you're getting close to that boat, that's a good strategy. No matter what method you're using, knock it down to a speed of 1, give them time to catch up. So we've caught one with the twitching method. And now here's another something. Let's see what we've got in here. Another largemouth bass, a little bigger, a 4.86 right there. That's very easy though. You're holding down the control button for twitching. You're holding down the space bar for jigging. So probably the easiest methods though is twitching and constant in the game, because you don't really have, you're holding down a button and reeling in constant, or you're not holding down a button and reeling in constant. So stop and go, you got to pay a little more attention to, and jigging, you got to pay a little more attention to. If you're dragging it across the bottom, jigging is really easy if you're just leaving it in one spot and just holding the space bar. Depends on how you want to do it, but I feel like you'll get more bites if you drag it across the bottom because you're just covering more real estate. But guys, that's going to do it. If you would, please hit that like, subscribe, notify bell. We have covered all 4 retrieval methods. Let me know in the comments if there is another guide, or tutorial that you would like to see me do that would help explain things to make your life easier over here on the Angler. I'm all about that. Anything I can do to save you some pain, baby. Make sure to catch us. First week Tackle Tuesday is coming up this Tuesday. So the first week with Caitlin and Tipsy and Pro XCK added to the numbers. I am excited. I can't see if anything's coming for it, but I'm going to slow it down to a speed of 1 anyway, just in case something is. And when we get close to the boat, I like to do that. But anyway, guys, we have caught some fish using all 4 methods. And let me know in the comments what you think, guys. Did it help? Would you like to see more? Let me know, guys. We are streaming on YouTube now, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesdays starting at 8 Eastern time. Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, Twitch. Saturdays are to be determined whenever I can. Sundays is 8 a.m. Eastern. And Mondays will be 5 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch. So occasionally we throw some TikTok videos in there too, TikTok lives. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you in the next video.